Good morning, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader and welcome to the Model Railway Room. Stay tuned because we've got a big announcement today. So today I am going to be giving my very last City Yard update. That's because I've chosen a name. So going forward, they're going to be called, I'll tell you in a little while. Before I get into that, there's just a few things that I want to share with you and just a few updates on what I've been doing on the layout. So you're just going to have to hang on for a few more minutes. But the first thing I want to talk about is a couple of weeks ago, I spent a day showing a friend the best train spotting locations in London. So this friend is called Andy. I met him on Instagram about 18 months ago. He and I have been chatting backwards and forwards. Andy lives in America, in Pennsylvania. Last year he came over to the UK to see some family and asked me loads of questions, some of which I had to look up the answers to about British Railways. He then contacted me to say that he was coming over again and asked me the location of various shops and things. And I said to him, look, if you fancy it, if you've got a free day, let's get together and I'll show you the sites in London. So after having to sew my arm back on that he had readily bitten off to accept my offer, Andy and I met in London. I took him to Willesden Junction, which, as you know, is a favourite train spotting location of mine. We met some fellow train spotters who Andy went and said hello to. We spent a lovely, it must have been about 2 hours we spent on the footbridge at Willesden Junction. Andy is fascinated by just the amount of passenger trains that we have. I mean, especially at Willesden, you've got London Overground, London Underground, you've got the main line coming out of Euston with high-speed services, cross-country services, local services. This is a level of service that certainly where he lives in Western Pennsylvania, you don't get. He gets 4 trains a day, 4 passenger trains a day, which are 2 Amtrak services, one going and one coming on each service. Anyway, but Andy and I had a lovely day. Andy, I know you'll be watching. Thank you so much. I enjoyed it just as much as you did. Andy and his son Charlie are building an amazing layout. I'm going to put their website address down below. Please go and take a look. Their layout is based around Pittsburgh. From what I can tell and some of the bits that's on their website, it's a fairly good representation of the trains that are there. I think they've kind of set it sort of, I think sort of like Conrail-y type era rather than the modern day. But it's fine by me. You know me. I like a bit of old-fashioned stuff, if you can call Conrail old-fashioned. Andy will want me to say that the website does need updating. It hasn't had a refresh for a little while. But go on, have a look. More people have a look. Might actually push Andy into doing that update, mate. Put some more pictures on there. But anyway, that's my little story of my new transatlantic friendship. Andy has already said that, he's definitely coming over again. And I'm just going to have to plan something even better to show him around. I might bring him down to sunny Southend-on-Sea and show him the railways of Essex, but we'll wait until next time. Okay, so that's that bit done. Let's move over to the layout and just show you some progress on the changes that I've made down at that end. So as everybody knows, I have now set the layout in Brooklyn, very firmly in Brooklyn on the Bay Ridge branch. And what I needed to do was just change this area at the back. So we've still got the tenement buildings, and we will still have something over in that corner up there, maybe some house backs, certainly some more trees and things. But I wanted to represent the yard being in kind of like a cutting. If you look on Google Maps and you look at the Bay Ridge branch, certainly the bit from Bay Ridge onwards for a couple of miles is in cutting. So normally the streets would go over the top of the railway. As you get more towards the Queen's end of the branch, you tend to find that the trains run over the roads. Again, there are no grade crossings, so this old thing here is staying, but it's fictional. I just wanted to represent the fact that even though the world is up here at this level, that, you know, cars can make it down and access the yard area. And so to do that, I've built this thing here. So we've got to the stage. So those of you that look at my community page will see that I've just been posting updates on this. This has been built out of foam core board and then faced with some, as you can see, we've got some brick plastic card on there and bits of plastic. This is a very girder bridge. Basically, there is a company over here called Wills Scenics, it's part of Pico now, and they produce a kit where you can make varying width plate girder bridges. So I just happen to have one of those kits in a box up in the loft. This whole section is removable, which I need to have it removable at the moment for painting. But I'm going to make it so that it can lift out, because I do want to light all of these buildings up here and any other buildings. So I'll need to be able to drop wiring through. So that's where that is at the moment. A lot of work to do on it, but I think it's you know, for me, I think it's a really good start, and for me as well. Not known for my speed of modelling. I think I've made some quite good progress in this in the last week or so. Okay, so that's the build update. A lot of progress has been made on that area. I think very much with this layout, that's the area that's going to get finished first. I mean, obviously we've got this section behind me, which is fairly much done, a few details to add, and I'm slowly working my way around. So I think once I've built the raised section and painted it and detailed it to where I want it to be, then that's going to make the the scenery spread. So things like over here, if I just pan over here, you can see the big factory building. That's going to probably be the next big building that I will look at and do some more work on, so that that's complete, get that industry bedded in, and then we can just move forward and get that end of the layout done. As I said, this is no longer City Yard. City Yard was a good temporary name for the layout, but now that I've worked out where the layout is set, somewhere in Brooklyn, just off of the Bay Ridge branch, I needed to give it a name. So I looked at the maps and I wanted a name that reflected the area but wasn't real. And I've done this quite a few times before. So I had a layout called Morford, I think I called it Morford Park, and various other layouts which used the name Morford. And I was born in a town just on the outskirts of London called Romford. So I just transposed the M and the R and came up with Morford. And I use that quite a lot for my British layouts. And there will be another British layout, a small one, coming at some point when Hornby get their backside in gear and release more of their TT scale stuff. But that's another story. But I wanted somewhere that kind of said exactly where the layout is. So I came up with a name. Not only have I come up with a name, I've managed to get some stuff made with the name on. So say goodbye to City Yard and say hello to Brooklyn Park. There is no Brooklyn Park in Brooklyn, at least as far as I can find. There is a Brooklyn Park in Minnesota. It's a suburb of Minneapolis. So I got this made up, found this company on eBay that does these in the UK. Obviously, I am not depicting a New York subway station at all. So Brooklyn Park Station, which is on the N line. No, it's not. There is no Brooklyn Park Station on the N line. But again, this is my little fictional part of New York, and the N line runs quite close to the section of, in fact, in some places runs parallel to the section of the Bay Ridge branch that I am kind of, the area that I'm basing this on. So we have the fictional Brooklyn Park Station, which is probably over there somewhere, if this was in real life. So the layout is now called Brooklyn Park. All future updates are going to be called Brooklyn Park, though I will number them sequentially with the old City Yard layout. Probably say Brooklyn Park, formerly known as the layout, formerly known as City Yard. But I'm really pleased that I've got the name. So I've got this made up. I have got another sign on the way, sort of a New York style street sign. And, as and when I get details done, I will print bits up on here that will probably have Brooklyn Park written on them so that you know exactly where the layout is set. That's taken a weight off of my mind. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. But I like it. I like the name. Puts it firmly where I want it to be. And I know that I have said that I'm sort of like try to keep it generic, so I can run other people's trains on there, and I still will. I mean, one day you'll see a Farm Rail GP38-2 running around this layout, or a New Haven loco on a day where I decide that I'm going to run older rolling stock, or the Rock Island. I mean, I've got plenty of Rock Island stuff. That's that they will put in an appearance every now and again when I want to play with my trains. But for modelling purposes, for my fake history purposes, this is now Brooklyn Park. Anyway, that is my update for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, please post them below. I do try to answer any comments that come through. I've looked back in my history. There's 1 or 2 comments that I didn't answer. I did give them thumbs up and likes, but I didn't actually answer them. But they were so far away ago now that it's no point. And actually, they're from people that I know. Okay, so those people that I know, I've probably spoken to you since anyway, so apologies if I didn't actually answer your comment, even though I do try to. If there's anything specific, you can email me. You can find my email address through YouTube. I've had a few people get in touch with me, certainly in relation to my CV settings for things like my GP38-2, my FN Genesis one. I've got Google Docs. That's what it is. I've got Google Docs that I'm more than happy to share with people if they're interested. Plus, obviously, I've got the speed calculations and all that kind of thing. So there's loads of stuff. More than happy to share them with you. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, why not? It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, hit subscribe. Let's get my subscriber numbers up. I'm over 450. I mean, I don't have that many subscribers in the grand scheme of things. And most, if you look at my analytics, most of the people who watch these videos do it because they find it on Facebook. Because obviously I post bits on Facebook about my new videos. But if you're one of those people, click subscribe. Go on. I mean, I've had, my video of the Mid-Essex Model Railway exhibitions had almost 3,000 views, which for me is amazing. But if those 3,000 views translated into subscribers, I'd be more than happy. Anyway, if you want to, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much again for watching. My name's Steve. I'm the British Railroader, and I'm saying farewell to you from the Model Railway Room. Bye-bye.